oh, I've leaked it. Hang on, ball. I want it to feel like your heart is racing, certainly on the last few shots, because that's how you're going to best develop your skills. All right guys, it's Rick Shiels here, top 50 coach for Golf Monthly. And today I'm going to show you a 30-minute power boost range session to get you ready for this season, to have the best golfing season you've ever had. So let's hit the clock, 30 minutes. We're going to break this up into 3 different elements. The first 10 minutes is all going to be about getting your basics correct. Things like alignment, ball position, and technique. I'll somewhat say the boring stuff. Let's go through that first. Even though it's boring, it's incredibly important. First thing I want you to do is get a couple of long golf clubs out your bag, something like the 3 and 4 iron. And we're going to use one of the golf clubs for an alignment aid and another golf club for a ball position aid. You'll even still see right now some of the best players in the world, when they practice, they will have ball position aids out and alignments. Like, it's so unbelievably important. What I want you to do with this alignment one on the ground, I want you to pick a target. So I'm going to go for that blue flag that's just to the right of the 100 marker. I'm going to put this club just running parallel to the left of that line. I'm then going to make sure this club is at perfect right angles to the club on the ground, because we're going to use, I'm just going to use something quite lofted to start things off, like a pitching wedge. We're going to use the club that's on the ground here to use as a reference point for our alignment. You can see there, my right foot and my left foot are perfectly spaced between that club. And then this club on the ground, we're using mainly for ball position. So for a pitching wedge, I've got that absolutely smack bang in the middle of my stance. If anything, it's just a reminder. It's almost setting that kind of default setting back to make sure that you're not getting out of place with where you aim or where your ball position is going to be. So what I would do from here then is hit a few shots to warm up and also just to get your eye in. So I've got my alignment, I've got my ball position, and I can work on a few nice easy shots. And it's not always like me. I just hit that exactly over that blue flag that I was aiming for. So that gives me a lot of confidence that my alignment is absolutely spot on. And each time when you address the ball, almost step out of that mold and come back in again. Don't get lazy. So I'm going to hit about 10 shots doing this, making sure this drill is absolutely nailed on to start things off. Okay, so I'm really happy with that. I feel like I've got my eye in for my ball position and my alignment. The next thing to work on is your technique. Again, I'm going to be honest with you, the slightly boring stuff, but we want to get out of a practice session. We want to improve, even if it's by 1%, even less than 1%, as long as every time we go to the range, we improve by that little amount. Now, the best way is in-person lessons, go and see a coach, work on techniques that you need to work on. Or there's a few YouTube channels out there, obviously Golf Monthly's, or my own, where you can pick up on some golf tips. And what I'd also recommend to get hold of is something like this. This is basically a monopod with a little stand on the end, and you can attach your phone to this handle. I'm going to set my phone up and just take a few videos of my swing so I can have a look at my technique in slow motion. Top tips: have the camera placed at waist height, and have the angle of the phone in between where your feet are going to sit and where the ball's going to sit. The reason why we have that positioning is because if the angle of the phone is too far to the right or too far behind you, the actual path of your club coming down will look totally different. Almost the aspect ratio just will look totally wrong. So making sure that phone position is at waist height and in between your feet and the ball, pretty much in line with your hands, is the perfect location. And this is where I'm going to get a little bit more technical. So for myself, I'm working on keeping that club face more closed going back. So this is my main focus right now. I'm almost forgetting result for a minute and focusing solely on this point in my golf swing. Exaggerating that feeling. I'm not too worried about where the shot's going to go. This is the technique element of your practice session. Exaggerating that move. And then looking at your phone and getting that feedback. So what I like about this now, I'm getting that instant feedback. I can see the feeling that I'm getting from that swing is matching up with the actual reality of my club face being more closed or more square, which is exactly what I'm working on. You know what I love about this as well? I'll often send this to a friend, or I'll post it online, or even send it to the golf coach I've been working with, just to get that kind of feedback. Or sometimes, I don't know if it's a real true practice session if you've not actually shared it on social media. Makes you just feel a little bit better about yourself, that everyone's not practicing and you're getting better. This is invaluable feedback. We've all got these in our pockets now. Use it, it definitely helps. Okay, so that is the housekeeping stuff done. They're the things that will definitely help you start your practice session off well. I mentioned earlier, maybe the boring stuff, but very, very important stuff. Right, next up, it's time to test yourself. I've got a few really simple games here that you can do this with. So the phone goes away, the monopod goes away, these clubs get put back in the bag, because now it's time for you to start getting in the zone of doing some testing yourself games. I've got 3 really good ones. The first one is a distance challenge game. So start off with one of your irons. Now, what I want you to do is think about when you practice, you want to improve on your weaknesses. You don't want to just practice all the time your strengths, because there's no massive value in that. You're already good at that. Practice your weaker shots. So for example, for my weaker shots, I'm not particularly very good from 100 yards and in. So that's what I'm going to practice here. And dead simple, I'm going to grab my sand wedge, quite a lofty golf club, and I'm going to set myself a task. I want to hit 10 shots in a row, and each shot I want to gradually be further than the last shot. If I fail in that task and I hit a shot that's too short, I got to start again. Now, there's 2 ways of doing this. You can do this visually at a driving range or a practice ground. Down here at the driving range, we've got the technology here of Top Tracer. So I'm going to reset all that, and I'm going to work on the carry distances, each time being a little bit further than the last. Let's see if we can get 10 in a row that accomplishes that feat. So the first shot I'm going to hit about 25 yards is the goal. And 25 yards is the shot I hit. So I'm really happy with that start. So the next shot, I want to hit past 25 yards, but I don't want to hit it too long. Something in the 30s, low 30s would be an incredible start to this challenge. Should be good. 31. Okay, so really strong start. I'm going to go kind of 40 yards for the next one. Oh, a bit heavy. Oh, I got away with it. 33 yards. We've done 3 in a row so far. Let's see if we can get 10. That's strong. Oh, right. We failed. We managed to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, we almost got up to 9 and then we failed. But that's good, because it means now I've got something to work on. The big thing is, as well, is track your result. Get your phone, have a little notepad in your golf bag and say, this time I managed to do 8 out of 10, because next time you've got something to work on. Right, next challenge is all about controlling trajectory. Starting off low and aiming to try and hit it higher. So again, similar to last time, you can either use your visual perspective of how high these shots are going to go, or using technology like Top Tracer. I'm going to now move up to my 7-iron, and the minimum yards I've got to hit this is 100 yards. So I can't just chip it 50 yards in front of me. What I'm going to start off by doing is hitting it super, super low as I can possibly hit a 7-iron, And then each time, just trying to change the trajectory a little bit until we finish actually trying to hit it super, super high. Again, a bit like the last challenge, if we can do 10 in a row, it's an amazing achievement. So let's see how we get on. It's got to go minimum 100 yards. I'm going to start really low. So there's a couple of things you can do here from a technique standpoint as well to hit a 7-iron lower, ball position further back in the stance, hands further forward. And one thing that creates height is speed. Speed and loft increase height. So we're going to decrease the loft and hit it softer, slower. And let's start off nice and low. We're going to try and hit a little low 100-yard 7-iron. That's a really, really low flight. It's gone a bit longer than 100 yards, 125 yards, and it went 48 feet in the air. The next shot, we're going to go slightly higher, but again, it's got to go over 100 yards. So this time I'm going to hit the ball a tiny bit faster than the last shot, just to get that height. That's a nice strike. There we go, we've elevated the shot by 10 feet. So now we're going to go a little bit higher, similar ball position, a tiny bit faster. So the first three I've done very good so far. I'm going to just tweak this a little bit, change the trajectory. I'm going to put the ball position slightly more towards the middle of my stance because that's going to bring the loft back to its more natural setting. But I'm still going to hit this super soft. Might be higher though, yeah, 52. Okay, middle of the stance. I'm gonna go a little bit faster this time. So I've done 6 so far and successfully got to this stage. I'm now gonna move the ball position a little bit further up in my stance, again to increase the loft. This is gonna be interesting. I'm gonna hit this over 90 feet. It's starting to get quite high now. That should be good. This is good in practice because I've got to shot number 7 now. I'm starting to feel the pressure. I want to get to number 10. And it's good to practice under pressure. Keep the ball position forward and go a little bit more speed. We've got to try and get over 104 feet in the air. Easy. Okay, 2 more to go. 118 to beat. Ball position forward, almost maximum speed. Okay, last shot in the 10. Ball position forward, maximum speed, as hard and fast as I can hit it. And the last little sprinkle of magic, finish with really, really high hands because it keeps the loft on the face. I've got to beat 132 feet. I'm going to send this to the moon. And that is 10 successful shots, each going higher than the last. Last challenge to test yourself, the driver. It's going to be dead simple this. 10 shots and you're going to picture a fairway. How many times can you hit the fairway? And again, great ways of doing this. Out on the golf driving range here, you can pick a couple of flags. There's 2 flags, a yellow one on the right, a yellow on the left, and I can picture that as my fairway. Or using Top Tracer, I've come here on the long driving range fairway effectively. I'm going to hit 10 shots and see how many times consecutively I can hit the fairway, or how many out of 10 should I say I can get. And again, this is great. You can note it down on your phone or in a little notebook, and each time try and improve on your previous score. Right, let's go. What I want to try and get out of this as a practice session and for everybody watching is I want it to feel like nervous. I want it to feel like your heart is racing, certainly on the last few shots, because that's how you're going to best develop your skills and how taking your game from the driving range to out on the golf course. So let's go, 10 shots. I mean, I'm somewhat even nervous on the first shot. It feels like a first tee nerves type of vibe because you want to start strong. I'm picking my line. I'm really visualizing where I'm going to hit this, and let's start off straight down the middle of the fairway. That should be a very good start. 1 out of 1. tiny bit right. Should be good. Just, but we're on the fairway. I'm not trying to hit these as hard as I can. These are all fairway finding drives. Okay, that was a little bit high and definitely got affected by the wind, but I'm not looking for distance, I'm looking for accuracy. That's 4 out of 4 so far. Right, this is the point where it starts to feel a bit more nervous. I've just hit 6 really good drives there, straight down the fairway. We've got 4 more to go to get 10 out of 10. The old heart is pumping. This is what we want. We want that excitement. We want that kind of nerves. Can I finish strong? This is coming down the straight. I've got a good round of golf going. Can I keep hitting fairways? Not my best, but it's straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. 3 to go. Oh, I've leaked it. We might have missed the first fairway. Hang on, ball. Hang on. Oh, got lucky. That wasn't my best shot. The old nerves started twitching, but this is good. This is what you want in a practice session. 2 more to go. Okay, this is it. Last shot. Again, they've not all been pretty. They've not all been perfect. But this is the one. I'm on for a record score, 10 out of 10. Can I finish? This is walking down the 18th hole. You've got a good round of golf going. You just want to finish strong. You want to hit that great tee shot. Well, this hard work on the driving range will help you next time you get in that situation. Heart is pumping, hands are twitching. Can I finish with a 10 out of 10? Hang on to that right-hand side. Oh, it's absolutely perfect. That is good. That's good practice. I feel motivated with that. And next time I get on the golf course, I can't imagine hitting it anywhere else apart from straight down the middle of the fairway. Right, next up, let's challenge someone else. Right, the last section of your practice here at the driving range is to challenge somebody else, whether that's a friend or whether it's actually just someone else at the driving range. Ask them if they fancy a bit of a competition. This is a way that you can put everything you've just worked on for the first 2 sections of this practice session into a more realistic setting. So you can do things like nearest the pin challenges, who can hit it closest, whether it's at a target at the driving range or again using top tracer technology, or whether it's a longest drive challenge against each other. And you could even finally pretend you're playing a hole again, either on the range by using different targets, or why not jump on one of the most famous holes in the world using top tracer. And you know what, why not make it a bit spicy as well? The loser has to do a forfeit, whether that's clean the other one's golf shoes or even simply carry the other golfer's clubs back to the car. Make it mean something, because then you're going to at least try your best, and it matters. Like, you want that bit of nerves, you want that bit of excitement to definitely put you in the right frame of mind. That is how you power boost your practice session, ready for a great season. Get out there, work hard in your golf game, because believe me, when you're playing well, you'll enjoy it a lot more. We'll see you next time.